going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day I was scrolling through Twitter, and once again, from the same leaker, I saw a little something that really opened up my eyes. Now, again, keep in mind, this is all leaked information, meaning that this individual probably went ahead and data mined a bunch of this stuff. So it's not guaranteed to come into the game, but the majority of this is probably in the files. Somehow, some way, they were able to, find this good stuff, this good information, and went ahead and shared it with the overall, XDefiant community over on Twitter. So before we go ahead and dive deep, guys, if you do enjoy today's video, leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell, all that good stuff. It all helps out this channel significantly. And of course, like I literally just said, hit that bell because we are going to be posting everything XDefiant related and BO6 related once that drops this weekend. So if you guys are interested in those arcade 6v6 style games and you want to stay up to date with both titles, subscribe and hit that bell. And last but not least, I will be live streaming pretty much for the whole week here. Now, I'm not going to be streaming today, guys. So on Tuesday, I'm going to be off. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we are going to be putting in absolute work. Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to try to get a bunch more guns level 500 in XDefiant. And then this weekend, we're going to dive deep into Black Ops 6. So if you guys want to see any of that content live and in action before we put out content on the YouTube channel, by all means, you can check out my Twitch channel. I got a link to that down in the description of this video. All right, so once again, this poster is Ubisoft Hater. Now, of course, like I said, over time, we're going to see how legitimate this person's information is. But from what I've been told, this leaker is kind of just a part of a group of multiple different people who data mine a bunch of the stuff about these games, whether it's Rainbow Six Siege, XDefiant. It's kind of just a group of them. So, probably the majority of the stuff is the same information that we saw from the previous leaker, which once again, the previous leaker stuff was almost on point, so I wouldn't be shocked if this does come true here. But as you can see from Ubisoft Hater, XDefiant is coming to Steam in the next few months. It should be out on Steam before the start of 2025. This, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely huge for the future of XDefiant. Now, of course, when it comes to console, this isn't going to be too big of a deal, but I'll tell you right now, when it comes to PC players, it's devastating. It's absolutely devastating to see this game only be on the Ubisoft launcher. There are a ton of people out there who will gladly not just go out of their way to ignore any game on the Ubisoft launcher. They just won't even bother playing it. Rainbow Six Siege, for an example, if it wasn't for Steam, people won't even bother playing that game. And people already feel skeptical enough playing it on Steam because it still loads up the Ubisoft launcher. Funny enough, believe it or not, if you load it up on Steam, you still pretty much are launching the Ubisoft launcher. So it sucks, but again, you aren't going directly through Ubisoft, you're going through Steam itself. So people are a tad bit more lenient when it comes to games like Rainbow Six Siege. But for XDefiant, for an example, I know a ton of people who refuse to touch this game on their PCs. Again, console, not too big of an issue. If you want to try to download it, you can try to download it. But for PC players, there are so many who refuse to even give this game a try because of simply the launcher that it is on. Now, this isn't anything new. Ubisoft kind of follows this pattern again and again and again, where they will typically launch their games, onto the Ubisoft launcher, and usually it'll take up to a year before they actually transfer it over to Steam. So this isn't, odd that it's happening in this format, and it kind of lines up exactly with how Ubisoft handles it. And it's weird, right? People are probably going to say, well, why the heck would they do that? But in my opinion, they probably do that just to try to bring more, foot traffic into the Ubisoft launcher. They probably want people to use it, take advantage of it. But let's be real, if they drop it on Steam right away, nobody's even going to consider giving the Ubisoft launcher a try. So what do? They go ahead and launch it on Ubisoft first, and then, slowly over time, they'll trickle it out on Steam and allow everybody else to access the game that way. So, this kind of follows in line with how Ubisoft typically does it, which is why I feel like this leaker is kind of on point here, and it will probably be true information. I guess we will really see how, valid this leaker is in the upcoming months, and if their information is true or false with a lot of the leaks they've been putting out here. But again, this right here is going to be great because people will finally be able to give XDefiant a go. All the people who just simply couldn't push through the Ubisoft launcher, they don't have excuses anymore, which, they can finally dabble within the game. But there is a little something that I am concerned about with Steam that I've been concerned about for a long time now. Guys, as we all know, it is just simply popular to hate XDefiant. Okay, it's extraordinarily popular. You can see it on my channel, you can see it on other channels, although there are tons of people who support this game, especially on the stream, which again, I really appreciate everybody who tunes into the live streams, shows love, chats it up. I've been able to meet a bunch of people who really do enjoy XDefiant, truthfully, down to the core. And it's awesome, because again, a lot of the hype around the game just came from people saying, oh, it's going to kill COD. This is why we're hyping it up, right? All the love from the game seemed like it just came from people who wanted COD to die instead of just having another alternative out there to enjoy, something that's a little bit different, another game to add into the catalog, your list of things to have fun with. And it's good to see that people don't just view this game as that. They actually view this game as XDefiant and want to see XDefiant thrive as its own thing. But again, just because I see a bunch of people like that in my streams and my comments doesn't mean that trolls don't just come for the head of XDefiant 24/7. And, if this was COD, for example, the reviews could still be outweighed. It could be completely outweighed. But when it comes to XDefiant, it's not that massive of a game, which means, the loud minority of people can be extra loud, right? They can amplify their voices and make it seem worse than it already is. And that's what I worry about, because once it goes out on Steam, that means that you can just openly review this game. You can have, a review on it. You could put down whatever you feel about this game. And trust me, I already know once that is available, people are going to be review bombing the heck out of this game. Not even because the game would deserve it, but just simply because they're spiteful. They hate it. They just can't stand the game. The developers are doing a phenomenal job. And yeah, I guarantee there will be tons of reviews who will list that they're doing a phenomenal job, including myself. But at the end of the day, there's still going to be a bunch of people who will gladly spew out lies just to make sure someone might see that and say, oh, maybe I should avoid this game because so-and-so said that. It's just disgusting behavior, and it worries me. But again, I feel like that can be easily avoided by postponing the time of the Steam drop until the game is in a workable spot. Which, again, if this information is true, which we don't know yet, but if it does become true, that means I'm assuming that the netcode fix, the big netcode fix, should be right around the corner. Because I can't imagine the developers, they already saw what happened at launch, right? They already witnessed what happened at launch when things were a bit rough. I can't imagine that they put it out on a Steam release without putting in the biggest netcode fix, right? I feel like that is going to be coming first. It's going to get polished off. So when they do put it out on Steam and it's going to reach a much larger audience, a lot of people are going to finally be able to see this game and play this game. When they do load into it, it will actually be way tremendously better than what it is right now. And that's where we need to be right now. We need to have that happen before it enters Steam. If we cannot get this game polished off and working perfectly, once the devs can increase the rate that packets can transfer, one to another, it's going to change everything. The trading that we're witnessing right now is very temporary, right? We're taking steps here. We went from ghosting to now no more ghosting, but we're trading to now the final step where, obviously they will implement the netcode changes. But you see, this is the problem here. Nobody understands we're even taking steps. People look at this game where it's at and say it's going backwards, which is mind-boggling. But this is what I'm saying. People will openly lie about that. They're not going to be honest about the real progress this game has made. They're not going to be honest and say the developers went from ghosting bullets to trading to now the next step is going to resolve everything. They're not going to say that. They're going to say the netcode has not gotten better. It's gotten worse. They continue to make it bad. They haven't done any improvements, and that's what's going to spew out online. It just sucks that people can't see the actual progression of this game. But I can't say that because, once again, I do see tons of comments every day acknowledging the devs and their hard work with this game. So I think there's a lot of individuals out there. But once again, like I said, it's the loud minority. It's always the people who are most angry in the smallest portion that are the loudest because they have to be the loudest. If they're not the loudest, nobody's ever going to even recognize them. So it is what it is, but I think that is the final step. They have to improve the netcode, get those fixes out, and then we can see a Steam launch, and I think we're going to be on a perfect road. Once that happens, I think that it's going to be a lot of new players coming into the scene, and especially with the, the store upgrading and they're getting better skins up in there, I'm excited. I'm extraordinarily excited to see what the potential of this game is once we finally can stray a little bit more away from the Ubisoft launcher. And again, I have to make it very clear, we're not moving away from the Ubisoft launcher because just like with Rainbow Six Siege, once you load it up on Steam, it opens Ubisoft anyway. So we'll probably still have to deal with the launcher, but people just feel safer on Steam. I don't know why. Probably because it's been one of the, the longest lasting things to play games on a PC. So people are just used to seeing Steam and they want Steam. But regardless, Steam is the way to go. Steam is where you're going to get the players. And I'm excited to see where this game is going to be at once they go ahead and finally launch it there. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, go down in the comment section and let me know what you guys think about this overall topic. Do you guys think it's great that it's coming to Steam, or do you not really care? Again, I'm curious because I know it's a lot of people out there who refuse to do anything else on any other launcher besides Steam, and others might not give a crap. But I feel like the ones who are waiting for Steam severely outweigh the others who, are just pushing through with the Ubisoft launcher. But I guess only time will tell. But as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And of course, if you want to go ahead and check out my live streams, I will be live again on Wednesday over on Twitch. By all means, if you want to check that out, I got a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.